Honestly, y'all not even gonna believe this story time because it's just so crazy and ridiculous. But just watch. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Kiya Boyd. Welcome back to my channel. Nice to see you all again. Hi. Okay, I know you guys see that I have different hair again. I keep changing it up because my little sisters made me realize that life is short and I want to be a bad all the time like them. So I'm changing up my hair. I'm changing up like my style and my makeup looks and different things like that. So that's why I look the way I do. And I'm also starting to buy clothes that are more fitting for me as far as like my body shape, because I'm working out too. And I just want to look good, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. My nail broke off right here. Of course, it's the middle finger. I don't feel like reattaching it, so I'm just gonna keep it moving. Press-ons, but they look good. So, as you guys might know or might not know, I'm in Germany. I haven't been able to vlog very much since I've been here because I have been through such a traumatic experience while being here, and I'm going to share that with you guys while drinking a hard seltzer water. So this is like my fake wine, except it's water with alcohol, and yeah, it's gonna get me through this story because it's just to retell it, I gotta go through the emotions again. So if you want, go ahead, grab some alcohol, grab some wine. If you are under the age of 21, you better go grab some apple juice or some orange juice, and we're gonna sit down and I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. So listen, I decided that I wanted to take a vacation. So I am taking a month off, and I decided I wanted to go to Europe because I haven't been to Europe before. And Corona has been pissing me off because it just kind of ruined my plans for last year and partially this year. And I was just like, I'm tired of living by the whole pandemic, the whole stupid ass panorama, the Panda Express, the panini. So I decided to take matters into my own hands, and I just said, F it, I'm gonna travel anyway. And I know to some of you probably are like, well, why are you traveling during a pandemic? Isn't that like irresponsible? I'm not about to put my life on hold because of some stupid ass disease that just decided to pop up out of nowhere and affect the entire world. I'm not about to do that. So I was trying to wait to get the vaccine in Korea. They are extremely slow with how they're distributing the vaccines and stuff like that. So I figured out that I probably wouldn't be able to get it until like the end of this year almost. And that would be both doses. So I was just like, I don't have time for that. So what I did was I decided to go to Europe, but I did a layover in America in my hometown, Detroit. And while I was in Detroit, my layover was around 5 hours. So I had a friend pick me up and take me to go get my first vaccination. So I got vaccinated already once. And at the end of the month that I'm going to spend in Europe, I'm going to go back to America for another layover. And I am going to get my second vaccination. So you bet your girl I want to be vaccinated, and I want to be able to travel, and I want to be protected, and yada, yada, yada. So after going to the US for 5 hours or so and then coming straight to Europe, I landed in Amsterdam. Amsterdam was pretty great considering I only spent time in the airport, but it was a nice little vibe. The people in Amsterdam were very kind and nice, and they helped me out. And while I was in Amsterdam, I bought a SIM card for my phone, and it works for all of Europe. It's unlimited data, 100 gigabytes, and yeah, so I was like, I'm good. And then it has a cell phone number. I can't call anyone, which is fine because I can call people over my data, which was unlimited, and people can call me and I can answer. So that's cool, right? All right, so that's gonna be important later on. And I had already booked my train tickets ahead of time, so I was just gonna get on the trains. I have experience with taking like trains and subways because of Korea, so this wasn't nothing new, so I could figure it out. So I figured out my stops, I figured out how to get on my stops and transfer and stuff like that. So I was doing it, I was doing the doggone thing. I even got video footage of that. And I'm off to Germany.
So I'm on the train to Pittsburgh, and that's where I'm going to be staying for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be, in between Sweden and probably France. I'm coming back to Amsterdam. I gotta come back here. This place is a vibe. I don't even want to show y'all my face or anything because it's been 2 days worth of traveling. I am tired. I'm ready to hurry up and get to my location. I'm going to be staying at my friend Liz's house. I'm just about ready to make it to her house, do a wig change because this one, I done wore this little precious little thing out. As y'all can see, I'm wearing my mint little errand running outfit because that's just the move when I'm going on a plane. So I got a whole row of seats to myself. I'm next to the window. I really feel like I'm in some European movie. And I'm about to take a nap. Traveling to Europe, oh my God. I've never been to Europe, so this is exciting. But I'm also very tired, so give me a break. So I'm at a rest stop. Well, not even a rest stop. It's another station. I have to transfer from here to get on another train. I'm trying to use the bathroom. Why it costs 50 cents to use the bathroom here? And I pushed the green button. I done held up 50 cards to this thing, but it doesn't register that the card is working. So I'm assuming maybe I need a European card to use it. This is so frustrating because I really just want to just pee. And I can't pee because it's not working. Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, bro.
And so I am 2 stops away from the stop that is going to take me to where I am now. And right now I'm at my friend's house in Germany, my friend Liz, and I've known Liz since last year, and we became friends in Korea when I was introduced to Aaliyah. So we're all connected in that way, but I made a lot of good friends, and Liz was just kind of like, if you want to come to Europe, you can stay at my house in Germany. And I was like, bet. Because I'm a planner and I like to plan things, but at the same time, I'm very spontaneous and will just do stuff without thinking. So me going to Europe was a completely spur of the moment type thing. I was originally gonna just go to America and spend like a month at my parents' house again, but I'm really just tired of doing the same thing all the time. So I was like, let me go to Europe. Like, I've never been to Europe. I wanna do something, I wanna see something. Okay, back to the story. So Liz actually had to go somewhere for work. Liz works with the Air Force. That is also important. So she works for the Air Force, and she had to go to Israel for 5 days, which meant I was gonna be alone. Me being alone? No problem. I'm a female traveler that likes to be alone anyway. I'm always traveling alone. I'm a single female traveler, and that is normal for me. That's how I got to Korea. So I was like, okay, cool. And Liz actually ended up leaving her car for me. She said, you take my car, do whatever you want. My house is yours. Love her, love her, love her. So I was like, cool, I'll just grab your car. She left it at the train station that I was going to end up at. And then I could just take her car, drive her to her house. I had her location for where her house was. She gave me the address. She told me exactly what was in the house, what to do. She said, make myself at home. And I would have been good. Like, I was about to just live my best life from that point until I transferred again, and I still had 2 more stops to go. But the stop before the second to last transfer, I'm sitting there by myself and I'm just like vibing out to my music and stuff like that. And the man asked me, like, where are you going? And I say, I'm going to Bitburg because that's where my friend is. And he said, no, you're not. This train stops in Zerpnik, and it's this small town, like countryside type looking town, and it's not a lot of like resources or whatever from what I'm hearing. So I'm like, what? Why is we stopping there? The train says that it's supposed to go here. He said, well, we not going there. I said, okay, that don't make sense. So I'm trying to get help from him, and he just like really like, no, you getting off here. This is it. So I'm like, okay. Kind of frustrated, but I'm like, whatever, I figure it out. I always figure it out, because I do. And I get off there and I'm asking other people like who are on the train about to get off. And I said, how do I get to Bitburg? And he said, well, there's a bus. And then he looks up the bus times and he says, well, you're not gonna make it tonight because it's Sunday and the buses stop running at this time, or there's not a lot of buses that are going to go there for today. So here's a good hotel, and I stopped listening when he said hotel, because I was like, that wasn't in the plan. That wasn't in the plan that I was supposed to be doing. I was incredibly frustrated at that point, and I thanked everyone for, you know, at least telling me and trying to help me. And then I got off, and I get off, and I have 2 suitcases, and I'm like, you know, what do I do from here? So I got my 2 suitcases, and then I have like some duffel bag on top of it because my friend in America, Kiya, gave me like some gifts that she wanted to give me for Christmas, but didn't send it over, but gave it to me before I left. So I had to get like a little extra duffel bag, and I put it in there, and I bought some like new stuff when I was in America just for like those 5 hours. Like I went kind of like mini shopping, stupid, and then I put more stuff in there. So I had 2 suitcases, duffel bag, and a heavy book bag with my computer and stuff in it. So I was just like struggling, rolling through the streets of this small town, looking for some direction, some sign, something, a bus. I went to different bus stops, and I'm trying to find like where it's going, how to get there. Nothing is telling me enough information. So I'm just like, I'm screwed. And then it started freaking raining. So I'm just like, okay, you know what? I don't understand. The most important part here is that when I got off the train, I was looking at my phone, trying to figure out how to get from one place to another, or to contact somebody, Liz, or my other friends in Germany. And my mother effing phone was not connected to the internet. It completely stopped connecting to the internet. I couldn't make no calls. I couldn't make calls anyway, but I couldn't get on Wi-Fi because it's not like Korea, so there's no Wi-Fi just everywhere. I couldn't connect to the internet at all. It said 4G, but there was no connection. Phone completely stopped working. So I had no way to look up anything, to contact anybody, to search for directions, to figure out how to get out of there. So I was in a freaking panic, walking around for hours in the rain with all these suitcases. And his family's walking by me, just kind of staring at me because they like, you know, this girl's clearly from out of town. I mean, I look American. My hair wasn't like this at the time, but I know I look American. They were just like looking at me and staring at me, but nobody said anything, came up to me or anything. So I walked past this park. It's like a tiny little park. And I am looking because it looks like there's signs over there, or a museum or something. I'm like, a museum gotta have Wi-Fi, right? So I'm trying to walk over there. At this point, I am extremely tired, and I just kind of give up in the middle of this roundabout. And I'm about to cross, but I just keep telling every car, just go, because I'm tired. And I go to this park, and I'm looking at the signs, and I noticed that this old German woman just kept staring at me. The whole time, she just kept staring and looking at me, and she has a dog. And I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, you know, why she keep looking at me like that? And I'm like, oh, wait, I'm in Germany. I was told that I'm going to be stared at a lot anyway because, you know, I'm different. So that makes sense. But I don't know, sometimes like as a Black woman, I'm thinking that, you know, people are staring at me for the wrong reasons, or because they are suspicious of me, or because they have some premonition, you know? I just automatically am thinking that way. And it's sad, but that's just kind of how my brain was working. So I'm trying to read the signs and stuff like that, and I'm jumping up and down because they pretty high up, so I'm like trying to read stuff. And a few seconds later, this woman comes up to me and says, in like broken English, because she can't really speak English, like, you need help? And at that point, I think I just like lost it. I'm just like, yeah. So she offered to like help me, and she's like, okay, what do you need? And I just was trying to explain as much as I can, like in simplified English, but also with like a little bit of German that I like studied. And I studied German a lot more before I came here, so I wouldn't be like completely like just not knowing what to do. But at the same time, I'm not fluent. So I was like, I'm in a country, lost, stranded, in the rain, can't talk to nobody, no internet. I don't know what to do. So I'm trying to explain to her, and she's sort of getting it. And then she starts asking random people that are walking by if they can like look up the bus numbers, or look up this or look up that. And they only looking at her. They're not interested in looking at me. They kind of acting like I don't exist. So I'm like, okay, like that's fine, but whatever. So they pretty much just kind of like, you know, telling her that I'm not gonna be able to get there. And they're saying like what bus to go to, but they're not being very descriptive. So at this point, the lady is just like, come with me. I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna help you figure it out. And I'm like, just so grateful to her. Plus she got a dog, so we was already vibing, me and a dog and a lady. So we walked a little bit, and she takes me to her house. And I kid you not when I say she had like the biggest house in that city, and it looked like a castle. It was white and it looked like a freaking castle with like super tall grass, like gates and an actual gate. It was beautiful. I don't want to film too much because I want to respect her privacy. This lady is amazing, and it's her massage bed that I'm about to use before I go to sleep, so. She live in a freaking mansion. Her whole house is beautiful. It's like super giant. Even like her backyard and everything. Fountain, all this really nice stuff. I can't thank her enough for her kindness. So she takes me here and she tells me to sit and wait with her as she's trying to call all of these train lines and stuff and trying to figure out the buses and things. She's on the phone for like an hour and a half almost trying to figure all this stuff out. And I just felt like incredibly grateful. And at this point, the lady is just like, do you want to smoke? Because she got cigarettes and she said, you want to smoke? I was like, nah, I'm okay. She pulled out a cigarette and started smoking one. I said, I can mess with this lady. I like her. She seemed cool. And then she's like, you like wine? I was like, yeah, I like wine. So she get us both wine glasses. And she pours wine for her and pours wine for me. And then she's like, did like this. We toasted, we drank together. I was like, what the heck is going on? So at this point, I'm incredibly like overwhelmed because I'm like, what is happening? Like the kindness that this lady is showing me. So then she makes me lunch, and I haven't eaten the entire day. I got there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by this time it's like 4. And she made me lunch, and it was very, very good. It was like cheeses and fruits and some veggies and bread and all this other stuff. And we ate lunch, and she kind of told me her life story about how her dad died in Auschwitz during like the war and stuff like that. And it was very sad. And it just seemed like something out of a movie because y'all know it was my dream. Like I've been saying it's my dream ever since I was a little girl to come to Germany and to experience like the history of Germany. And I wanted to see the Holocaust museums, and I've been a big fan of like the Holocaust in that time period and the Diary of Anne Frank. So it felt like some weird movie that was happening. Like I couldn't explain it. And we talked and we, you know, just kind of exchanged life stories and different things like that. She was so kind to me when I needed it most. And in her house, she ain't got Wi-Fi. It's to be expected because when you older, it's just like, what's the need, you know, if you got a cell phone. So I still couldn't connect to any internet. So I had to go without internet. And I'm like, oh my God, Liz is probably freaking out because I didn't contact her. Everybody who knows me is probably freaking out because usually I'll post something or say something and I didn't say anything, and it's going on like 9 hours already. So by that point, you know, she called her daughter, she called her son. They work for different things and like have connections. I was trying to get me a taxi there, but she said it was gonna be too expensive, and then was trying to get me a way to get there. So the end solution was just like, she said, are you okay with staying here? Because I have many spare rooms and you can sleep the night. And then when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna drive you to the location that you said you needed to go to transfer. The stop I was originally supposed to get off before I had that one more stop left. And I was like, yes, like that would be more than okay. So she said, okay, go ahead, you take a shower, get washed up, do what you need to do. I'm gonna make dinner, and when you finish, we'll eat dinner together. And so I took the hottest shower known to man. I just completely enjoyed myself as a guest in her home. And then she pointed me to the bed, was like, I have new sheets. And again, she can barely speak English. Her English is enough for us to communicate, and my German is enough for me to like kind of go back and forth. And then I learned more stuff because of her speaking. So it was really interesting in how we talked to each other and communicated. The guest bedroom was just perfect. It was beautiful. She told me to take a walk in her yard. It was huge. It was literally like its own park. I don't even understand why she went to the park. It was the biggest backyard, fountains, fishes, tables everywhere. It was so huge and so beautiful. So then after that, she made me dinner and we ate dinner. I ate liver. When I tell y'all, I'm not a fan of liver, but I couldn't refuse because, you know, she's just so nice. And I had to suck it up and stomach it down. Let me take a little sip of this because I'm sorry, war flashbacks. I ate some liver and I ate other stuff with it, so it wasn't as bad. And she kept giving me wine and was just the nicest. And then after that, I ate and I was like pretty full and tired from my long journey, and I went to sleep. Again, I don't have any internet, so I just went to sleep, no problem. I slept 12 and a half hours because of how tired I was and how exhausted I had been and how much anxiety I had and stress. And then when I woke up at like 7 in the morning, she was waiting downstairs for me with breakfast, and we ate breakfast together. And she was so busy that day. She said she had to work and do all this stuff, but she said, I'm gonna take this time out because I wanna make sure you get to where you need to go. So we drove in her car, a Porsche, obviously, and she drove me to the train station that I was originally supposed to be dropped off at before Bitburg, my final destination. And she's like 72 and she's a little like, you know, shaky. She's old. So I couldn't believe somebody was this kind to me, and she kept offering me stuff and kept doing stuff for me. And when we got there, she went inside and talked to everybody. She said, don't get out. I'm about to make sure you're gonna get to where you need to go. She talked to so many people, and the man finally, you know, said, okay, we got it from here. We gonna get her on this bus because the trains are done. And the reason the trains are done, this is the big one, is because of flooding. I didn't know that there was like a huge flooding thing that happened in Europe. Train tracks were destroyed. Cars were on train tracks. Trees were on train tracks. I didn't know this. I had no idea. Power lines were down, and I had just came right in the middle of it and didn't know this. And I would have been stranded outside in the middle of this mess by myself with no way to contact anyone if this lady had not saved me. So after she talked to the man, she helped me get my things out of the car, and we hugged for a while and we cried together. We cried because we were so sad to leave each other. And I thanked her so much for her kindness. I couldn't bear it. I just, the way she cried and the way I cried, we had kind of a bond, and I had grown attached to her. I gave her my number, the one that don't freaking work. So it was whatever, but I'm actually gonna end up going to go drive to her town tomorrow. I remember the town name because I have like little paper that I saved from that town. And I remember her house exactly because of how I got off the train station and like the directions that I took. So I looked on Google Maps, like I was the street view. I was really trying to find where she lived. It's an hour away from where I am, and I'm going to drive to her tomorrow and let her know that I'm okay. And I'm gonna give her some gifts. I need to buy her some stuff. Before I left, she didn't know this. She was in the car, and I told her I needed to go upstairs to grab something. And I wrote her a thank you note. I have my own pen and like my little special little color pen and my paper for my backpack, and I wrote her a special note, and I left a like diffuser, like an oil diffuser that I had. It was brand new in a box, and then like some aromatherapy oils that I gave to her. And I said, like, this is a gift for your kindness. I definitely I'm giving her way more than that, but that was all I had at the time. And I just needed her to know how grateful I was. So the man at the bus station gets me on a bus, and I get on that bus. He was kind. And from that bus, I had to transfer. So after I transferred one time, I got on the next bus. But the bus before I transferred, we were driving, and all of a sudden it stopped for like 15 minutes. And I'm like, did my bus just freaking break down? Come on! But luckily, it wasn't because it broke down. It's because they wanted to take a smoke break. So I was like, okay, I get it. I understand. I ain't mad. So I was outside telling everybody who could understand me what the heck just happened to me in the last day and a half. And I'm like, I desperately need Wi-Fi. I need hotspot. And some guy on the bus was like, I got a hotspot, I'll give it to you. I was forever grateful because I had went, at that point, 24 hours without internet. And once I connected, I had so many messages from so many people. Liz thought I was kidnapped and then I was gone. And she had other friends message me like, are you okay? So I had to explain this story of what happened, and nobody was believing me because they were like, this is like the craziest thing I ever heard. I transferred, got on that bus, the last one, made it to Bitburg freaking train station. It was shut down, don't even care. But I found Liz's car in the parking lot, woohoo! Found that car, and I got in there. When I saw her car, I started kissing the ground and thanking God. I said, you know what? I be doubting your existence, I really do. And I'm pretty sure I'm agnostic, but I believe in you. Then I realized I still don't have internet. So how I'm gonna get to Liz's house? So I had to drive around for 15 minutes in the middle of nowhere again, trying to figure out if I could find a cafe or a restaurant that had Wi-Fi. After 15 minutes, I saw a cafe. I bought like some random item in there, said hello, guten tag to everybody, and I sat down. Thank God they had Wi-Fi. I downloaded Google Maps. I downloaded all these offline apps, got that stuff together, put Liz's address in there, and was ready to go. I was good at that point. So then I routed myself to her house, found her house, had the best drive ever because on German roads, you can go fast, it's nice, wasn't like nobody on them roads and people just be driving kind of however they want. I finally freaking made it. So I'm currently at her house. I'm in her car. I don't want to show y'all her car because she said she gotta clean it, but I'm about to park her freaking house. The outside, it look amazing. I love it. I can't wait to go inside, but thank God I finally made it with no internet, but still I made it and that's all that matters. Now I'm about to park in her garage and I want to go inside and take the hottest shower and I'm probably just gonna get ready. I don't think I'm going anywhere today because it's been a long day, but I'm gonna get ready and just get comfortable. So I made some food. I made Puerto Rican beef stew. I already kind of threw some broth on that, so ignore why the color looks like that. But yeah, it's just beef stew with carrots, potatoes, and beef, and then some jasmine rice. I don't have my Tabasco here, so I'm using Liz's hot sauce, which is Cholula. And then I'm sitting here watching a movie. So thank God there's a happy ending to this entire story. I got here, I'm fine. Everything's okay. Sadly, I didn't get to vlog as I had wanted to, but I made it here without being abducted or sold into sex trafficking because God, like, I just can't even. So I called the Dutch company because I had to like, what the F going on my thing? They gave me the runaround for 25 phone calls. So I had to chuck it up to, I lost 65 euros because they kind of sold me a dud. And my roaming was on. There was no problem on my end. It was just something on their end. So I still don't have internet, but I'm going to end up getting that fixed tomorrow. I've just been at the house doing other stuff, kind of filming and relaxing because I had to recharge after all that BS. But again, I'm gonna go see the lady tomorrow and maybe I'll vlog that and just, go and thank her again for her kindness. But that is the story of me in Europe for the first freaking day and a half. 2 freaking days of going through hell. And I am here, I made it. I got to do my hair, I got to shoot a music video, and I'm all right. So thank y'all for watching. This was an extremely long story time, but it needed to be told because trust me, you would not believe this if anybody else told you this crap. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment down below, tell me your thoughts, let me know what you think of this crazy ass story. And I don't know if you have any advice for me about being in Europe in the first place, because I'm going to be going a lot of places, but Germany is where I am going to be mostly, and I want to go see Holocaust museums, and I am just a little weary now because of my internet. And also, if you guys aren't subscribed, don't forget to push that subscribe button right now. Push it, push it, push it. Don't be a lame. Push the subscribe button. And don't be lazy. Push that bell that's next to it so you can get notifications and updates from me. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Instagram is the best way to stay updated about my life. And just to follow me on Instagram is a blessing to you because I'm providing you with quality content, beautiful pictures, and awesome videos. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter, like my Facebook page, Instagram again, and I will see you guys later. Bye.